and Development for July 24th, 2024 at 11:42 a.m. First action is seeking approval of our minutes from our June 28th meeting. If someone wants to make a motion for that, Ms. Turner, and second by Mr. Bean. Any discussion on the minutes? I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye of approving the minutes from June 28th.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Privilege of the floor, public comment. Anybody want to speak to the committee? Move into our Planning and Community Development Department agenda. We have one resolution request today. And I'll let Ethan take it away, please.
Yeah, hi, thank you. We are resubmitting to New York State Homes Community Renewal for $200,000 for emergency home repairs for seniors. At our last committee meeting, you all approved a contract for us to work with Rebuilding Together Saratoga County. We administer that. Over the course of the last 6 months, we've built a relationship with Homes and Community Renewal. We want to use the program again. So we think this is a great time to leverage the work we've already done. This last round of funding to go after more. So it would be fairly modest for emergency home repairs for seniors. It's just authorization to submit the application.
Somebody would like to make a motion to bring that to the floor. Mr. Wild with a second by Mr. Stroh. Any discussion on the resolution request? I'll call the question. All those in favor of applying for the grant funding through the New York State Restore Program, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Project updates.
So not too much to report right now. Our heads have been down doing grant applications, which are due at the middle of next week. County Comprehensive Plan, there'll be a project advisory group meeting on August 16th, I believe, at Warrensburg. August 16th. Thank you, Supervisor. And that will be an opportunity for the project advisory group to talk through some of the big picture goals and objectives of the planning process. So it's really just sort of pivoting from all this fact finding, public engagement, and then really starting to chart the course forward. So that'll be on the 16th. Welcome anyone to attend that. And we've had some public engagement, the multi-use trail study, outreach, Hudson Falls, and then Lake George soon. So thanks for everyone that's been supporting that. Outdoor Rec Economy Plan, we'll be reconvening to talk about our goals and strategies for that in September. So most of our planning projects are in the strategy development phase. And I think this fall we'll have a busy series of presentations and engagements with you all to talk about, the actual policies in these documents. But that's just sort of a brief project update. I'll keep it brief and pass it off to Sarah for a presentation.
Okay, I'm just going to do a very brief presentation on an ongoing project that we haven't talked about in a while here. Okay, so just wanted to give an update on our collaborative project with Cliff and Redfield Interactive, our Stories from Open Space project. This is an ongoing project. We've been working with Cliff and Redfield for since 2001. So we have a number of collaborators, primarily our department, Warren County Historian, Historical Society, a number of the local area historical societies, as well as the Kelly Adirondack Center at Union College. So since the beginning of this project in 2021, we've launched a website, storiesfromopenspace.org. So if you have not visited that website, I invite you to do so. Published 2 articles in Adirondack Magazine, both focused on the First Wilderness. One kind of talking about hiking opportunities throughout the First Wilderness communities. Another one more focused on the Johnsburg area, history of Johnsburg, and the kind of inception of the relationship between some residents of Johnsburg and the inception of the Adirondack Park. We've published 15 email newsletters So these are sent out to subscribers. We have several hundred subscribers, various different topics of interest throughout the First Wilderness communities. We've had about a dozen civic conversations with local historians and figures talking about the historic things throughout these communities. These are streamed on YouTube and available to watch on our channel or join live. And we've published over 30 articles at this point on stories from open space. Lots of interesting topics, how skiing came to North Creek, how Hackensack Mountain got its name, just lots of fun, historically oriented articles about the area. Since we know that cultural and historic tourism is a big interest for visitors to the area, we want to take advantage of getting the word out about some of these fun places throughout the county. We also, a couple years ago, when we launched the Historians Challenge, filmed a video to go along with that. It's a fun video of doing the entire challenge in one day. So that's up on our Historians Challenge website. Oops, I need to play the video. It's published 33 trip reports and counting for historic and recreation destinations throughout the First Wilderness. So these are first person, very well-written accounts of visiting various trails, bike rides, paddling opportunities throughout the First Wilderness communities. Whoops, right here. We also last year did our first trip into spatial storytelling. I also think I accidentally skipped a slide back here about, this is a collaborative project with student interns. So we have had probably about a dozen student interns at this point from Johnsburg High School, Glens Falls High School, Skidmore, SUNY Plattsburgh, SUNY Adirondack, and this summer we have a great intern from Middlebury who's working with us. So a lot of these articles are student written with the assistance of our Cliff and Redfield journalists. Yeah, it's been a great experience with the interns. It has actually even ended up with one of those interns getting a full-time job in Warren County, which we're very happy about. Those couple story maps, which are available on the Stories from Open Space, both of those were written by student interns, again, with some assistance from our department and Cliff and Redfield. And then, as you're aware, over the past year, we've been moving into developing this Explore Warren County map. So I talked about this briefly, maybe 6 or 7 months ago, but we're now at the point where this is officially launched. It's out of beta. We're excited and anxious to, get people to download it and try it out. So the cool thing about this is that it is GPS triggered and it works offline. So essentially, what it allows us to do is create narratives for places of interest throughout Warren County and put these together into a tour, and then allows people to drive or walk depending on the tour, and their phone will automatically trigger audio for each one of these locations of interest. We do this using geofences. So essentially, we're setting up a geographic trigger that works with the GPS in people's phone. So once they go into one of those triggers, that audio will automatically play. It can also be manually started too. So if somebody wants to just explore the app without driving the tour or walking the tour, they can listen to all of the audio. This is all professionally recorded. We got a local musician to record some backing track for the music, John Krebs, which was awesome. He donated that to us, which was really nice of him. So as of right now, we have 3 tours. We have the first wilderness audio tour, which takes people through the county from just south of exit 17 all the way through exiting at North River on Route 28. We have a walking tour of North Creek, and then we have an audio tour to accompany our Historians Challenge letterboxing. Here's a QR code. I have some postcards that I have the QR code that I forgot to bring with me, but feel free to stop by and pick one of those up. Or you can visit the storiesfromopenspace.org website, which also has the QR code. This works on Android and iPhone. It's free. You can find it in the App Store, Google Play Store. One thing to note is in order to get the tours to work correctly, you need to allow location always. While the app is running, you can set it back to turn it off when you're done with using the app for the tour. One other really cool thing about this app is it allowed us the opportunity to embed our recreation mapper into the app. So the app includes our full suite of information about all of the various public access recreation points throughout Warren County. So this includes all of our trails, all of our water access points, bike rides, parks, winter recreation, and it's location enabled. So if you load this onto your phone and you click that little circle up in the right hand corner, it will locate you in the app and you can pan and zoom around, see what's closest to us. In our case here, those Rush Pond trails are close to us, and then click on any one of those icons, you'll get additional details about the recreational asset, a link to directions, trail maps, etc. And then as far as the audio tours, this is the tour button at the bottom of the app. You can click on whichever one you're interested in. We do periodically update these. We've been in beta for a while. These have required quite a lot of testing to get all the timing right for triggering the audio and the various different points of interest. So if you see an update available, click on download, although I think we're pretty finalized at this point. And you can view the tour spots on a map, read a little bit more about them. And again, that audio will kind of will automatically trigger as you're driving or walking. Again, website for more information. And then we have 2 more tours in the works. One of actually our student intern is working on both of these. I believe we're going to be doing a walking tour of Lake Luzerne, and then we're going to be doing a Dude Ranch Trail driving tour. So this is a scenic byway in Warren County, and we're going to, it's been established since the last several decades, I believe, through New York State Department of Transportation. We're going to be doing audio to go along with that scenic byway.
Any questions? Yep, Mr.
No
Stroud.
question, just, it's great work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful stuff. Thank you.
Can't wait to use it.
Both Ethan and Sarah were both putting on and facilitating the multi-use trail, what would you call it? Event at the Shirt Factory a couple weeks ago, and it was awesome. Meeting community right where they are, right in the middle of 20 food trucks. And, got a great
Helps.
turnout, lots of maps, lots of engagement, involvement, kids, everything was great.
You'll be able to add some too. I just came from a joint, I guess, press conference with Barton Mine in the town of Johnsburg, and Barton Mine is basically creating an easement, 200 acres, all of about 2 miles from my house. And you talk about the beginning of skiing, and it's actually not about the same, about 2 miles from my house. And there's actually on Raymond Brook, there's an old toboggan hut
Yes.
on there.
We have a whole article about that on Stories
yeah.
from Open Space. So if you want more pictures, so if you want to see it.
And
definitely.
and if you're a Nordic skier and you want to ski Raymond Brook, bring your A game. That is 1,700 feet of vertical amongst the trees. So you better be able to ski really well.
That is a really consequential.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that is big news.
Anything else from the committee before we move on to workforce development? All right, thank you both so much. Moving on to workforce development, we have 4 resolution requests before us. Number 1 or A is for a new contract for a 3-year term paid by a federal grant, and I'll ask Liza to take it from there. You have Mr. Stroh.
I was wondering if we may move A through D at the same time because they're new contracts or repeat contracts, internships that all have to do with the WIOA grant related to and paid for. So since they're so similar, and if I could, I'll move A through D, but that's only if I'm allowed to do that.
Any objection from the committee? No.
No,
Move forward with
second
that. Motion from Mr. Stroh, second from Mr. Wild. Liza?
Thank you, and I appreciate that motion, making it a lot easier for everybody. I just wanted to share just a couple updates. For resolution request C for Big Brothers Big Sisters, that is a new partnership, but it is from the original probation grant, Y Reconnects, that has expired. So we are taking that on to make sure young people are still getting work site mentorship opportunities. And so that contract will help cover the cost of some of the staffing work of Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I wanted to make sure you knew about that's like a Warren County program that we're continuing that was previously funded under a different grant. I'm happy to answer any questions about any of these new contracts.
All right, I'll call the question. All those in favor of resolution requests A through D, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries.
Thank you.
Into discussion items.
Yes, I definitely wanted to give you some workforce updates and then staffing updates. So our current unemployment rate for June, it always takes a month to come out, is 3.3. So it did go down since May, 3.6. It is comparable to 2023, and it always goes down in the summer and goes back up in the winter. So nothing out of the norm. And pretty much anybody who wants a job can get one. We have plenty of jobs. We don't have plenty of people. You should have all received an invitation to our Summer Youth Employment Program celebration on August 9th. That will be back at Crandall Park. The last 2 years it was at Eastfield, but it'll be back at Crandall Park. So we hope you can join us as we celebrate our young people and give out some awards. They've worked really hard this summer all over the county. The second site of Operation Food Chain, which is the lunch program that the BOS chef oversees with our youth workers. The second location at Salvation Army has been funded by the First Presbyterian Church. So I wanted to publicly thank them. And I wanted the committee to know that we're giving out more lunches over there than at Eastfield. So we are grateful to have a second location and to have community support with volunteers and additional funding to help cover those lunches for young people over in the Green Village neighborhood. And we are doing our third annual workforce celebration for hospitality and tourism workers on Monday, September 9th at Six Flags. So we give out awards, and all of our Warren County tourism hospitality workers get a free night at Six Flags. So this is the third year in a row we've partnered with Rebecca Wood at Six Flags and her team in making sure that happens. We always do it after the car show, after things are settled down a little bit. So that will be Monday, September 9th, if anybody wishes to join us. As you know, we are really working together to support Washington County with the Great Meadow closure. We have already been hearing from some of their employees, and we are happy to support them in whatever their needs may be. Don Lehman, of course, has been very helpful with putting that on social media about all of our free services. But New York State Department of Labor really takes the lead in their rapid response program for any business closing that has more than 50 employees. So very soon we will hear from them, from Department of Labor, about what types of jobs those are. Are those employees getting severance pay or not? What are any of them being transferred? What skills do they have? And then we'll offer all of our free training services and job seeking services as well, and see if they are interested in doing a targeted job fair just for them. But we let New York State Department of Labor Rapid Response take the lead, and that facilities in Washington County. So we just support Washington County, but there are people who live in Warren County and work over there. So we're happy to help them. I wanted everybody to know that training sponsorships are still really busy, which is awesome. We are sponsoring many municipal workers with getting CDL upgrades. We have helped departments with OSHA certifications, CPR certifications, and that is saving departments and municipalities money that they don't have to come out of pocket with. So I think it is really helpful to make sure that we continue to refer departments and municipalities to our office if they need training certifications for their staff. That helps us retain our workers and making sure that they are upskilled, qualified, and have the necessary credentials to perform their duties. And so for my staffing update, since our last meeting and since the personnel meeting earlier this month, I just wanted to share that I do anticipate my account manager retiring, but I don't have a date yet. So when I have a date, I will plan backwards from that. And I did meet with the personnel manager about how to move forward, and it does seem like my only option is fiscal coordinator to change that job description. And I'm still not sure that that is the best title, because the person's job is not coordinating. They are managing budget, payroll, and 8 to 10 accounts. So that conversation and best direction will continue in the budget process. But I just wanted you to know that figuring out the next steps for that is ongoing. I also just had an employee take a teaching position. So my student to career development specialist took a teaching position in Washington County. So that position is being posted this week. Those are my updates, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Being none. On the privilege of the floor. Any public comment from the community, non-committee supervisors? Entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Farrell, Mr. Weil.